Bonanza Brothers would be Volume 6 in the SEGA Ages 2500 series that would have been classed as a series of remastered games based off of classic SEGA entries seen on the arcades and in the Sega Mega Drive way back in the early 90s. And this game was a very popular game seen especially on the Sega Mega Drive, and this version of the game, while not a ground up remaster, it is an improved concept with new graphics and better quality sound effects and music that combines all of the elements seen in the original and classic title, but also adds in an addition of mini games that wouldn't have been seen in the original. So it tries to add up a few different features to keep players engaged, but it does take on the role of the two iconic characters that would have been seen in the original, and the goal with each level in the game is to complete various objectives, but also to steal items of interest from different types of buildings, all while using stealth and even engaging in gun combat to take out enemies or to stun them while you try to escape. So you have to find all of the items of interest and all of the treasures or money or whatever it is, and then you have to get to the end point to escape, and you have to make sure that you don't get caught or lose all of your lives. So it just carries on the premise of the iconic game seen on the Mega Drive and even the Master System and other consoles way back in the day. There was loads of different ports of this game added to different consoles during the late 80s and early 90s, so it was a very popular game in its own right. And this enhanced edition just takes everything that was popular with the original and just kind of just improves on it to a certain degree with just better and smoother visuals, but it plays very like the original game. So if you're a fan of the series itself, you'll be right at home here, and the fact that you'll get to play the game from a modern type of perspective. But again, even when you look at it from the graphics and even compared to the more 16-bit entries, there's very little difference in terms of what is available. Just the graphics are just a little bit smoother, but everything else plays and acts the same. Just with the addition of the various mini games and challenges will just add to the longevity of the game. But primarily the meat and bones of the game is within the original missions that you play, as that is the most fun part of the game, in all fairness. It is a fun game and it's a classic entry, and it's worthwhile revisiting if you're a fan of the original game, and to get to play it from a modern style perspective is definitely worthwhile. This game would also have been added to the lineup of games that would have been seen in the Sega Classics Collection game that would have been added in the European region on the PS2. And I remember myself personally, I bought that game years ago, and primarily I bought it because there were certain games on it, and even an updated version of Golden Axe. You also had Space Harrier, there was Outrun, like I mentioned, there was Virtua Racing, Super Monaco GP, and there was a few other games, and Bonanza Brothers was on that collection as well. So you had a multitude of different types of games and classic games to play through, and even remasters of some of those iconic classics. So it was a good series of games to try out. But in Japan, there was a lot more of these games and remastered editions that were only released in Japan that never got released outside of that region. And now through emulation, now would be a good excuse to go back and experience those remasters, especially now with better graphics. So like I said, if you're a fan of the original game on the Mega Drive or even other consoles, there's no reason why you shouldn't go back to experience this more updated version. But I would love to know your thoughts of Bonanza Brothers for the PS2, and what do you think of it? Are you a fan of the series, or have you played it on even older consoles such as the Mega Drive? And if so, what did you think of it back then? So be sure to share it down in the comments below. And if you have enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel and hit that bell to be updated of future videos. And if you would like to see more content around other types of classic entries seen on the PlayStation 2, then you can check out the playlist on screen to see more of those games in action. And I will see you all in the next one.